So we're back out today on the hunt looking for more of that retro goodness. And believe it or not, Jay is back. Decided today that we would kind of keep it close to home and hit up our local comic book shop / toy store, Big Ben's Comix Oasis. Now this store is pretty good size, and right when we walk in, we turn right and there is a huge wall full of vintage Transformers.
What? You want that Space Jam plate?
That Space Jam plate's lit. Yeah. Now as we're making our way through the store, I happen to notice a very small section of vintage Disney action figures and playsets, mostly made by Mattel. There was some Lion King and Aladdin. And as soon as I see this stuff, I'm just hit with nostalgia because I had a lot of this stuff when I was younger.
Dude, Pride Rock was way bigger than that.
And pretty much right next to the Disney stuff, I spot a very small peg full of Waterworld figures. Now I know the movie's horrible. It was one of the biggest flops, if not the biggest flop, in movie history. But the action figures are pretty cool, and they're fairly cheap, so it's a pretty easy line to collect if you're into that vintage Kenner stuff like I am.
One of the last ones I made. Damn, look at that. You're super close.
I still like this figure.
This one's gone earlier.
Now towards the back of the store against the far left wall, it is just covered in Star Wars action figures, vehicles, and playsets stretching from Power the Force 2 all the way through Episode 3. Now Power the Force 2, while it's kind of hated by a lot of collectors and fans for being too muscular and too beefy, this line actually holds a spot in my heart. These are the figures that got me into Star Wars collecting. Yeah, when I was a kid I grew up playing with the vintage, but it really was Power the Force 2 and that strong comeback of the figures from Kenner that got me back into Star Wars collecting. And then as Jay and I made our way around the corner, away from the Star Wars stuff, there is a large glass case that covers the entire back wall of the store. And inside that case, there's a lot of great stuff from vintage Star Wars, TMNT, Thundercats, a whole array of stuff. And what was pretty cool to me was a complete set of 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle soft head figures. There was just so much boxed Money More from Power Rangers stuff here that if I could, I would just buy it all. Another weakness, a soft spot in my heart, is that Kenner vintage Jurassic Park line. That original line is so awesome. I had all these figures when I was a kid. I had the dinosaurs. I can't get enough of this line.
$25 isn't bad, man.
The Star Trek ones are funny, man.
Dude, yeah. It's like, why? It's just straight up, his molded a sandwich in his hand. Dude, I had this as a kid. The pizza thrower.
Oh man, I had that bus.
Did
The
you?
blimp.
Dude, the blimp. I always wanted the blimp. I never had the blimp.
There's also a ton of vintage Masters of the Universe figures here, and I had a great time looking through them. I didn't pick anything up because they were a little overpriced for me, but I would love to come back and see if I can't work out a deal on like a large lot.
But how do you pass up on this?
Looks like it's got good articulation.
Do you remember that Asian store, dude?
Yeah.
It's
Isn't
that
it closed now?
No, yeah, it's that Lakeside Mall.
Oh.
So we pretty much have covered the entire store. We had a great time browsing through all of these toys. You really could spend all day in the store. We were only in here for a couple of hours before they closed. You know, we got a couple things. Just overall was a great time. I can't wait to come back, and the great thing about this is this store is only a couple minutes from my house. If you guys are ever in the Downriver, Michigan area, I highly recommend that you check out Big Ben's Comix Oasis. It's a great store.